Hi, 4th grade, it's Mrs. Boswell, and we're going to be doing a Module 5, Lesson 1 through 13 review. We're going to be talking about those benchmark fractions to compare on a number line. Okay, it says, I can use benchmark fractions to compare two fractions on a number line and to find equivalent fractions. And we did a lot of this before you left for winter break, and we're going to come back to it. So here we go. So if I have 2/6, you notice up here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know you can see mine are kind of shaded in, but really, how many do I need shaded in? I just need 2. So there's my 2/6, right? Well, how would I get this 6, okay, to get to 12? So 6 times what would get me to 12? Okay. If I put this in half, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many halves do I have? I have 2. So I multiplied this by 2. Whatever I multiply the bottom by, because 6 times 2 is 12, I also have to do the same to the top. So 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 4/12. So up here it was 2/6, and now it's 4/12. 2/6 is equivalent to 4/12. Okay. Down here, it says, are these equivalent fractions? Is 4/6 equivalent to 12/9? So we're going to find out. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And I need to color in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4/6. Can 6 go into 9? I know that 4 times 3 gives me 12, so I would have to do 3s. 1, 2, 3, right? 4 times 3 is 12, but and whatever I multiply the top by, I have to do the same with the bottom, or if I do the bottom. So is 6 times 3 9? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, this would actually give me 12/18. So is 4/6 equivalent to 12/9? No, because 6, 4th grade, cannot go into that 9. So 4/6 is not equivalent to 12/9. And that's what we just learned. 2/6 is equivalent to 4/12, but 4/6 is not equivalent to 12/9. And when I say it's not, that's when I will use that line. Okay. This one says, sorry, I apologize. It says, find an equivalent fraction without drawing an area model. Okay? So, if I have 2/5, right, I want to know what I could multiply by to get an equivalent fraction. Well, I know I could do both. If I take the bottom by 3, I have to do the same for the top, so I have times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. I think 2/5 is equivalent to 6/15, right? Because I can multiply that. All right? So let's do that. So if I have my rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I have 2 of these colored in, right? And if I break that into thirds, right? Because I'm doing 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oop, there's my 15, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is 2/5 equivalent to 6/15? Yes. Okay. Over here I have 3/4. Okay. What would be an equivalent number? I could even change it. So I use 3 there. Let's say I want to use 5 here. So 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. So I think 3/4 is equivalent to 15/20. Well, I can model that. So I'm going to start with the 3/4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I'm going to color in 3. 1, 2, 3. And I multiplied it by 5, so I'm going to need 5 rows. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry, 4th grade. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Ooh, sorry, I meant to put 20 here. I apologize, 15, 20. So I have 20. Do I have 15 colored in? 5, 10, 15. Yep. So 3/4 is equivalent to 15/20. All right, we're going to move on to page 2. So again, I'm using benchmark fractions. Okay, and it says I'm going to compare 5/8 and 7/4. So we have learned about our numbers, and we're going to keep our fractions and keep working on that. So I have 5/8. Okay, I know that 5/8 to get a whole, right? So I would have 0/8 here. To make a whole would be 8/8, right? Halfway would be about 4/8. So where would 5/8 sit? You're right, it would sit right about here. So here's my 5/8. Okay. Now I'm going to put on that 7/4. Okay, so this would be 0/4, 4/4 would be a whole, 2/4 would be halfway, and this says I need 7/4. Oh wait, is that bigger than my 4? Yeah, so I'm going to have to come all the way up here. I know that 4/4, if I take 4 divided by 4, I get 1. What would be a number divided by 4 that gave me 2? Well, I can just do the opposite. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8/4, right? Half of that would be 6/4, right? So I had 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. So right about here is 7/4. So when I compare 5/8 and 7/4, I know that 5/8 is less than 7/4. Okay. Now, I can do the same thing over here with 6/9 and 4/3. I'm going to change out my pen. Okay. And I know that, so remember when we are comparing fractions, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the numerator and denominator. And I know that these ones, first I can look at the denominator. I know that the bigger my fraction, or the smaller it is, the bigger, right, it is going to be. But, so I really can't tell from the denominator, so I'm going to look at the numerator. I notice that this numerator is less than the 9, so I know that it's less than a whole. But I know that this 4 is greater than 3, so I know that number is going to be greater than 1, okay? Because if I broke 4/3 down, that would be 3/3 plus 1/3 equals 1 1/3. Well, 6/9 can't really be broken into a whole, right? It would just be 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9 is 6/9. So I already know when I'm comparing those numerators that 4/3 is greater than 6/9, or 6/9 is less than 4/3. Okay, by using this. So not only can you use a number line, I can also use my part whole. Okay, down here for the 2/3 and 9/4. Well, I can already tell that my 3 and my 4, my denominator is different, but I'm going to look at the numerator. This 2 is smaller than 3, so I know it's going to be less than 1, right? Because this would be 3/3, 0/3, and then I'd have to have 1, 2. 2/3 is about here. There's 2/3, right? But I know that 9 is greater than 4. So I already know that I have to go above, right? So this would be 0/4, 4/4, right? Ooh, and this is 8/4. So I already know that this 4 can go into the 9, right? If I broke this down, 9/4, right? I can make 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 1/4 would equal 9/4. Well, these are both wholes. 1 and 1, right? Plus 1/4 would make 2 and 1/4. So I already know that 9/4 is greater than 2/3, or 2/3 is less than 9/4. Okay? So let's come over here. Ooh, man, that 2 and that 4 are different, so that denominator is different, but I'm going to look at the numerator. So I have 6 is greater than 2, and then that 7 is greater than 4. So I'm going to break these down. So I have 6 seconds, right? And then 7/4. Okay, I know that 2 and 2, and then another 2 and 2, right? Ooh, but man, I'm going to need another one, because 2 plus 2, right, plus 2 is 6 seconds. So that's 1, 2, 3 wholes, right? But then if I have 7/4, I know 4/4 is my whole. So 4 plus how many more gives me 7/4? 5, 6, 7 is 3/4. So this one is 1 3/4. Okay. Is 3 greater than 1 3/4 or less? If you said it's greater than, you're right. 6 seconds is greater than 7/4. All right, 4th grade. Today you're just going to continue reviewing on your problem set. Good luck today.